When we look within, everything should appear transformed. However, we must conform outwardly to society's expectations. It is imperative to not let anyone have control over our emotions, and the first rule to achieve this is to maintain a peaceful mind. The second rule is to see things for what they truly are, without letting our perceptions be clouded. As we wake up each morning, we should be grateful for the gift of life, and all the opportunities it presents for us to think, experience, and love. It is essential to remember that we have the power to control our thoughts and not be affected by external circumstances. This realization will lead to true strength. One who suffers unnecessarily does so because they allow it. Instead of succumbing to needless suffering, we should remain steadfast like a cliff that stands firm against the relentless waves. It is this resilience that allows for the taming of the fury around us. Nature has given us one tongue and two ears, reminding us to listen twice as if you really want to escape the things that harass you. What you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. Until we have begun to go without them, we fail to realize how unnecessary many things are. We've been using them not because we needed them, but because we had them. If a man knows not which port he sails, no wind is favorable. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Here is a rule to remember in future. When anything tempts you to feel bitter, not this is misfortune, but to bear this worthy is good fortune. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. If it is not right, do not do it. And if it is not true, do not say it. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact, and everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Difficulty shows what men are. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. Death smiles at us all we can do is smile back. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. Nothing endures but change. A person's worth is measured by the worth of what he values. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. No man was ever wise by chance, and he who is brave is free. Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. The willing are led by fate, the reluctant dragged. What we do now echoes in eternity. While we wait for life passes. The one who puts the finishing touches on their life. Each day is never short of time. It's time you realize that you have something in you, more powerful than miraculous, than the things that affect you and make you dance like a puppet. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. Be silent for the most part, or if you speak, say only what is necessary in a few words. All cruelty springs from weakness. It is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. Whatever can happen at any time can happen today. Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Because the thing seems difficult for you, do not think it impossible for anyone to accomplish. Freedom is secured, if not by the fulfilling of men's desires, but by the removal of desire. Circumstances don't make the man, they only reveal him to himself. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. The key is to keep company, only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Humans have come into being for the sake of each other, so either teach them or learn to bear them. It can ruin your life only if it ruins your character. Otherwise, it cannot harm you inside or out. The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Mastery of reading and writing requires a master. Still more so life. Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present and fear the future. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Your days are numbered. Use them to throw open the windows of your soul to the sun. If you do not, the sun will soon set and you with it. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. It's not that we have little time, but more that we waste a good deal of it. Whatever happens at all happens as it should. You will find this true if you watch narrowly. Our life is what our thoughts make it. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who is alive. We live only now. Everything else is either past or is unknown. Progress is not achieved by luck or accident, but by working on yourself daily and banquets. Remember that you entertain two guests, body and soul and whatever. You shall have given to the body you soon eject, but what you shall have given to the soul you keep always. No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have and to cheerfully put to good use what they do have. If what you have seems insufficient to you, then though you possess the world, you will yet be miserable. He is the most powerful who has power over himself. Difficulty strengthens the mind as labor does the body. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. Life, if well lived, is long enough. The best answer to anger is silence, agreed. But nature set a limit on that, as it did on eating and drinking. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. He who has injured thee was either stronger or weaker than thee. If weaker, spare him. If stronger, spare thyself. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. To wish to be well is a part of becoming well. Receive without conceit, release without struggle. No great thing is created suddenly, any more than a bunch of grapes or fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer that there must be time, but at first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. No man can escape his destiny. The next inquiry being, how he may best live the time that he has to live. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. Every new beginning comes from some other beginnings, but life is very short and anxious. For those who forget the past, neglect the present, and fear the future. We suffered not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them. And it is our attitude toward events, not events themselves, which we can control. Nothing is by its own nature calamitous. Even death is terrible only if we fear it. If evil be said of thee, and if it be true, correct thyself. If it is a lie, laugh at it. Attach yourself to what is spiritually superior, regardless of what other people think or do. Hold to your true aspirations, no matter what is going on around you. Confine yourself to the present. No man is free who is not a master of himself. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. If you live in harmony with nature, you will never be poor, and if you live according to what others think, you will never be rich. Learn to be indifferent to what makes no